Okay, so it seems like recently we've been covering the kind of story to do with Filian and her hiatus at the moment, which has been a very big topic in the VTubing space due to the fact of how long she's been away, and also some of the ARG aspects which have been coming out, which we've been covering over the past couple of weeks. Now, if you don't know, yep, Filian has been away since the Minecraft marathon, which she ran ages ago, and it's been a whole Neurosummer subathon and more since, she's been gone, right? People are starting to get a little bit worried, and I've noticed this it's become quite a big trend, especially on places like Filian's Reddit and places like that, where people are starting to get worried about exactly where she is, because we did cover recently her YouTube, for example, deleting some of the videos or removing some of the videos, to be precise. They are probably privated. I think the most kind of common theory is that they've just been privated and they haven't actually been like deleted or anything like that. So again, we'll have to see in the future. But yeah, obviously this has caught the attention of a lot of people, as removing almost 1 billion views worth of your videos is a pretty insane thing to do. And many people are obviously equating this to the ARG that she's been pretty obviously running, right? Because at the end of the Minecraft marathon, she ended up having like this whole glitchy video thing saying she had to go and whatever. And again, this caught a lot of people's attention, and people have been tracking down everything to do with the ARG in general, right? And well, it seems like, a lot of people have been worrying though, despite this going on, and despite the very obvious attempt at an ARG or some kind of simulated like story kind of experience while she's been away, people are still worried, right? And a lot of people have been commenting over on the Filian subreddit saying, okay, Filian, you can stop the act now, we really miss you. And obviously, yeah, people saying surely any day now for the grand return, and saying I only watch her YouTube, so I'm rarely getting her in my notifications anymore, but I'm not giving up and letting her escape that easily. I say, please come back. Said, where are you? Seriously though, we wait until our Cat Girl streamer is ready to come back. It doesn't change the fact that she is missed, but snackers are never going to give up. It would be a letdown if she felt forgotten. Surely be her. I'm sorry I didn't realize the external reference until the last sentence. Okay, I lied, but it'd be hilarious if she ever saw this. Most likely not, but I tried, right? And obviously, yeah, people have been going over like the meme stuff. People saying surely she has something planned. I said my headcanon is she has something. Some insane physical training to get her to be able to do something seriously crazy, like athletic flips and stuff, which again, that might be the case, you never know. And obviously some people saying let her rest, which obviously, yeah, I do think Filian does deserve the hiatus that she's been on, but obviously the more it drags out longer, the more people become more concerned, right? Because yeah, sometimes like a month or two hiatus is pretty acceptable, and people don't care, too much about it. They're like, okay, hope everything goes well and all that kind of stuff. But as the months go on and it goes on, people start to go, okay, is everything actually okay? Did something happen? Like, is something going bad? Is something bad happening? And especially with the videos being deleted or removed as well, people have been going, okay, wait, what really is going on here? And of course, yeah, it seems like all of this has been adding up to the ARG, but a lot of people have theories in terms of the ARG itself and what this could mean, and whether this is actually all going to kind of, I guess, end with some kind of big reveal, like maybe a VTuber model, some kind of project or something like that, which a lot of people have been discussing. Obviously, people have also been discussing on the subreddit saying new theories on the disappearance of Filian. Choose your favorite or let me know what you think. Obviously, theory 1 is that the ARG is a red herring, which is something that I've seen quite often. They're saying we all missed the true answer, maybe left weeks or months before the final stream, possibly even a bunch of small tiny clues leading up to the final stream. Don't believe the ARG propaganda, you are not a sheep. Which again, I do think it is pretty obvious that she's trying to set something up like an ARG, right? Especially due to the fact that there is literally an ARG channel within the Discord. So again, obviously, I think it's obvious that it is one. I don't think the ARG itself is a red herring. Now, maybe it could lead to nowhere, right? And it could all just be for nothing. But there definitely is an attempt to kind of do one, and an attempt to at least leave some clues for people to figure out whether that leads to something or not, right? So again, that's pretty interesting. So theory 2, Filian is waiting for a subscriber count to hit 0, hoping if she is gone long enough, people will stop resubbing to what would be considered a dead account, which again, I don't think it's true either. Again, I'm sure some of these are jokes. I'm guessing a lot of these are jokes. But obviously, she's got 3.414 million subscribers. I think it would take years, if not, not decades. What's the other one? Centuries to kind of, even run this down, right? To 0. I don't think it would ever To be honest, I think there will always be one person following Filian, even if it does go down to a very low number, right? Because there's dead accounts that don't, that obviously don't frequent on YouTube anymore, and that will say stay subscribed. There's no possible way to get it down to 0 unless you start a new channel or you somehow manage to get YouTube to remove it, right? Which obviously I don't think that's going to be the case, right? So Theory 3, Filian was some sort of spy, so counterintelligence. Okay, this is definitely a joke. For a country, whether America or other, and her cover was blown. The knocks at the door were extraction team, VTuber perfect cover, and oddly, she had a high amount of Russian viewers. Nice way to use Twitch to track IPs and intelligence for agencies using redacted methods. Theory 4, Filian was one of the most well-known VTubers, is starting her own VTuber company to fill the space in the industry the VShojo left. I mean, to be fair, I know some of these are jokes, but that isn't the most, out there one. I don't think she is, but I do think, there will be soon a VTuber agency, I think. Although the age of VTuber agencies, I think, is dying a little bit, I do think there will be someone, whether that's Filian, whether that's someone else, that might start up something similar, right? And now that there is such a large gap, and especially with Phase Connect getting a lot of heat as well recently, it seems like a lot of people won't be supporting them. So yeah, I mean, that's going to be pretty interesting. A company would actually be for the VTuber by the VTuber, featuring things like 3D live concerts, sports events, or collabs for VTubers to agree to and aren't forced to. Finally, 35, she's turned into a groundhog and she will not come out of the ground until the end of winter. Which, could be the case, right? People saying I think it's 5 personally, definitely my favorite. Saying there's a player in Canadian women's hockey team in the Olympics whose last name is Filler, pronounced Filia. So clearly she's a professional hockey player. Freaking hell, I knew she was Canadian, which is quite funny. So all this legal trouble due to her apartment being damaged and noise complaints, she had to suddenly move and being evicted, which, to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised with the amount of noise and flips and stuff that she does on stream. She's kidnapped by furries and made their queen. Something, I am the queen lizard. Which, yeah, it's I think this the ARG is timed. Nobody will move forwards till she wants them to. I also think between moving and her new model debut that she's got in the works or finished, I think she's just busy and is using the ARG to take a little bit of a break for a bit. The fact that her rebrand is looking to be a total overhaul, it's probably a lot of work and getting things set up sometimes can be complicated. This is all my own theory, but I wouldn't put it past her to hibernate until the winter is over. Which again, yeah, interesting. People saying, seriously speaking, I think Theory 1 is the most viable. I believe the whole ARG is not meant to lead to anything. I know this might be crazy, but apart from that, I remember that one time Filian had an incident where an Uber Eats guy was knocking profusely on her door at 2 a.m. until she called the police to escort the guy out. I can't help but overthink that has something to do with her absence today. Maybe another wild theory to add, which again, I don't think is, there has been incidents in the past, but it was very, obviously set up. It was an edited video with the glitches and stuff. They obviously added edits onto it. It wasn't just like a random situation that happened that ended up being like terrible or whatever. No, it seems like this was all been set up. Like it's very obvious this has been set up. And yeah, people say, Filian is that Steam friend that was like the one day stops connecting, which again, obviously, yeah, if you said all 6, Chacha said that she didn't do the ice thing, it was a joke, but she did hit her with a junkler and Filian flew off into space. Now I think that green light that supposedly landed on Mount Fuji could be Stinky Filian finally landing back to Earth, which I think is pretty funny, right? But yeah, obviously a lot of people have been discussing more things as well, saying she's just taking time off to prepare for debut. She's on vacation for all of January and the first part of February, hence basically minimal, if any, ARG progress for like a month and a half. The ARG has basically been confirmed to be gated at this point, whether you want to argue from a time or a event gate or both. This and a presumption that is going to play into our law does point towards that we'll have to finish our ARG for her official comeback or any announcements. This is kind of disappointing, to be honest, considering how downhill it's gone. She's also dealing with some legal things like registering copyrights and trademarks, apparently, which is interesting, right? I definitely do want to look into that further to understand exactly what's going on with the trademark stuff, but that could also be a, another thing that's going on, right? But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is for the Filian stuff for now. It seems like fans are a little bit concerned, but also just making jokes, right? And also, if you are to go into the Filian subreddit right now, it's pretty interesting to see what the fans get up to whenever she disappears, because I'm going to be real, it might as well be an X-rated site at this point, because yeah, there is a lot of crazy art out there, which is pretty insane to see. But yeah, I mean, that is essentially what they're up to right now. And yeah, hopefully we do see her back soon. And of course, yeah, the profile picture is still fading. So maybe when that fully fades, we might see the return of Filian at some point. But yeah, that's about all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code CAZO, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.